Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Kartik Goswami. I'm a fourth year medical student. I'm taking my step 1 and step 2, and I'm here to help you guys excel on your exams too. So for today's video, we're going to be going over how to make a schedule for your step 1 studying. Now, if you really want to get the best out of this video, go ahead to thedoctorjourney.com, go to free resources and download the free step 1 scheduler. That's going to be the best way to get the most impact out of this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. So when we make a step 1 schedule, you got to know how much of each resource there is. If you go into the schedule, which I have right here, you see that there's a total amount of UWorld questions I have, a total amount of Amboss questions, how much there is in the Anki Duke deck, how much there is in the Anking deck, how much there is in podcasts. There are a couple podcasts on there that you should be using, and there are some sketchy videos, which sections to do and how much Pathoma videos. The list is quite extensive on what materials you should be using, and this is what you need to know for your step 1. You need to know the total amounts of everything you want to use. Now this is just an example of the resources I like using, and I made a schedule of that, but you can literally tailor it down. And if you use any of our tutoring programs, we make a whole schedule for you. You won't have to worry about that, none of the hassle. But if you just want to look at the schedule and make your own, take the whole number of questions on the right hand side, divide them by how many days you want it, and you can get the amount of questions you need to do, cards you need to do, resources you need to watch per day. So anyways, in this schedule, it's a 3-month schedule, so that's 9 weeks long. We have planned out how many tests you need to do, how many questions you need to do, how many flashcards in Anki, and we'll go from there. So first off, for the question bank of my choice, I picked UWorld because that's what I did. That's what helped me excel. I put down 80 questions plus correcting them. That's about 2 hours of doing the questions and probably another 2 hours for correcting the questions. And then if you move down, you can see for Anki, you're doing around 400 cards a day. Now this is including your new cards, your review cards, all those combined. I know some people say don't set a hard limit on Anki, and if you have the time, don't set a hard limit. More the merrier, right? But if you're being realistic, setting a hard limit might be the best option because you don't want to waste too much time just doing flashcards where you can't do questions and learn more material. The whole point of Anki is to retain the material you know. So I put a nice limit, and 400 seems to be a great number where you can get enough Anki in to remember a good amount of stuff and you don't waste too much time. Then if you move on to the podcasts, I have a specific amount of podcasts you should be watching. I'm a fan of Golgin. I think that was a great one. You should watch those videos throughout the week. And then if you move on, you have Dirty Medicine. You can watch 1 video a day for Dirty Medicine. Great for biochemistry. And then Sketchy Pharmacology and Sketchy Micro, I also have divided up how much you need to watch per day. And then for Pathoma, because that's my choice of content, I also have that divided up, 1 video per day. And if you notice on day 6 and 7, you have days off. Usually days 6 and 7 is in my schedule a Saturday and Sunday. Could be any day for you, but day 6 would be your test. For example, here NBME 25, and then day Sunday would be correcting that NBME. You wouldn't be doing anything else. You would just be doing the NBMEs and correcting, but I do have Anki there for both those days as well. It's highly recommended you still do Anki so you keep up with those cards. Don't get overrun. But here's a little caveat. If you set a hard limit on Anki, let's say 400 cards, if you skip a day, the next day it can't go above that 400, so technically you won't be overloading it. But for your best advice, do Anki every day, even on test days and correction days. But if you cannot get to it for some reason and you have a hard limit on your card set, then not too much to worry about. And then at the bottom of it, you notice there's how much notes you should be reviewing. And so what are these notes? These notes are your reviews from your UWorld corrections. Maybe you wrote notes from Dirty Medicine you wrote down. Maybe you have notes from miscellaneous videos you watched to get a concept down. So it says 20% of your notes. So basically all those notes combined, mostly it's going to be UWorld corrections, and your test corrections are going to comprise most of it. So all of that total, take that down to 20% and do 20% of it throughout the week. So you complete all of it by the end of the week because it's split up into 5 days. So that'll cover your notes. Now this is the structure for your first week. And if you guys are really confused, I'm very, very highly recommending you guys go to thedoctorjourney.com, download the free schedule. It doesn't cost anything. Literally type in your email, get the schedule, it'll get emailed to you personally. You can open it up and keep it forever. It'll open up as an Excel sheet. You can edit it how you please. It's all color coded. So yeah, it's all free for you. So we move on from the first week, move on to the second week. Very, very similar structure. It's literally almost the same exact, except you're going to be taking a different NBME and you're going to be doing more notes probably because you compiled all those notes from first week. So that 20% is probably going to be a lot more. Moving on to week 3, again, very similar structure. You're getting to do even more notes probably a day because you probably have a lot more notes that you've compiled, and you're doing NBME 27 this time at the end of the week. But otherwise, the schedule is pretty much exactly the same. But you get to fourth week. In week 4, you notice that there's no goal gen anymore. You are done with that podcast. Congrats to you. You completed one of the things on your step 1 journey. You know, you're doing those 80 questions UWorld, you're doing your Anki, dirty medicine, sketchy farm, again, same. The NBB 28, get to week 5, and week 5, switch it up a little bit. You're no longer doing NBMEs, you're gonna be doing UWorld Self-Assessment 2. The reason UWorld Self-Assessment 2, it's supposed to be the most accurate of the UWorld ones according to the forums. And yes, I'm quoting the forums because there's a lot of data on there. UWorld Self-Assessment 2 seems to be the most reliable, and it's a good practice. If you do really bad on it, like me, don't worry. UWorld is a little differently structured, but it's really good content review, so it's still really good for your studying. So yeah, that is week 5. So week 6, you notice you have 100 UWorld questions now instead of 80, and you might be wondering, wow, this is a lot, but you notice you don't have goal gen anymore, and you're gonna be cutting back on the other resources too as we go in later weeks. So this week it might be rough, but it's preparing you with the correct amount of intensity, correct amount of content. This has been a tested schedule. You move into week 7 and you notice it looks so empty. It's because you're done with so many of the resources. And congrats to you. You're getting close to the finish line. You're doing 100 UWorld questions, you're correcting them. You're doing your NBME exams, you're reviewing those notes. Notes are super crucial, and they're getting more and more crucial as you keep going on. In this 7th week, you're gonna have a lot of notes, and we're gonna be bumping it up to doing 30% of your notes. So all that time that you're saving from not watching those videos, you're gonna be doing a little bit more notes, and it's gonna be a larger quantity. So it'll take more time, but reviewing those notes will really instill what you keep getting wrong, those concepts that you're reviewing, and going over your notes is gonna be amazing for you to solidify that information. Moving into week 8, again, you're doing 100 UWorld questions, correcting them, Anki 400 cards, only one piece of content you're doing this whole entire week. That's your dirty medicine biochemistry series. The rest of it you're completed, and you're doing 30% of your notes, and you're doing NBME 31. So this is the last final full week before your exam, okay? You're doing well, let's keep going strong. So you move into week 9, and you notice the first day is 100 questions plus corrections like normal, but day 2 and day 3, you're doing 100 incorrects. So of the topics of your choice, do a few incorrects because you're done with UWorld now. And on day 5, you're doing 40 incorrects. So Anki, you're doing Anki throughout the whole week up until the end of day 5, none on day 6. And on NBME exams, you're going to be taking free 120 on day 4 of week 9. The whole point of this is so you can do free 120 plus correct it. And free 120 is the most accurate exam in my experience and what most people say in terms of your real exam. It's going to mimic the exact style. It's going to have very similar type of questions. The whole layer is exactly how your test is going to be. So getting a good score on that would mean you're going to get a good score on your actual test. So that'll be on day 4, just a couple of days before your actual test. Good preparation to get you geared into your exam. And then in terms of notes, you're going to be doing 30% of your notes for the first 4 days. You're going to be covering a lot of them. And then day 5 and day 6, you're going to be doing 50% of your notes. So in 2 days, you're going to go back to back, half the amount of pages in one day and half in the other. And for my notes during step 1, I had like 280 pages, so it is quite a bit of notes. But if you look at the schedule, you have really nothing else to do. Especially on day 6, you're literally only doing notes. You're keeping your mind refreshed, relaxed, and you're just reviewing high yield content that's high yield for you. So that'll keep you prepared, warm, and on day 7, you take your exam and you slay the beast. So yeah, that's the schedule. Again, if this video seemed a little confusing to you, it's because we're following the schedule. It's on drjourney.com. You go to free resources, free step 1 schedule, and you can just follow it along. And I hope this helps. This video is kind of just there to explain my thought process in making this schedule. I've gone through this with many other students. They have said this is a great schedule, pretty organized. finalized. There will be updates to the schedule throughout the time, and it'll be updated on the website as it comes. And if there are updates, it'll be announced somewhere. But anyways, go on to drjourney.com, sign up for our free resources, and we'll be in touch, all right? In the meantime, keep working hard. You're gonna do great on this exam. Trust me, I started from the bottom. You can go look at my other videos. I started at the very, very low, and I made it up. You can do it too, all right? Stay healthy and stay happy, everyone. Bye-bye.